Hello friends, welcome to Parthems. Today we will see how to create the salary slip using a Excel file. So there are certain prerequisite or the data set you need to have before you start, creating template for salary slip. So we'll go through certain techniques or the forms or the layout for today's session and see how to create the salary slip template from the Excel file itself. So this is most useful for the small organizations or the startups. They want to prepare their data from the Excel sheet itself without using the additional softwares in their organizations. So I have prepared some data and the prerequisite to create some of the salary slip from the employees. So what exactly we needed? So this is Indian standard salary structure where we can get the employee ID, employee details with a name, designation, bank name, bank account name, and this is a PF number that we need to put in a salary slip. Then it is divided into earnings and the deductions. So there are certain uh, components that comes under the earnings and certain components under deductions. So you have to list down and prepare the list of the earnings or the details that you need to put on your salary slip. So what I did, I just prepared and planned to put earnings into one table like this and deduction into other table, and you can put the net salary under this. So before you start, you need to have list down your components. You may need to add certain, like nowadays people are doing the work from home, so you can add work from home allowances that would be the ad hoc basis. So likewise, you can prepare the list of earnings and deductions, but I'll adhere to this list as of now because this would be my fixed salary structure for every employee in my organization. So let's prepare one layout first, and then we will see how to import and relate my database from for the salary slip and pick up the data from another Excel or the different sheet itself. So before starting, you have to fix the page for printing size. So what we need to do this in this, like we have to click on view button, and under view you have to go for a second option under workbook views. So once you click on page layout, so you can see this has been um, framed into A4 size. So if you print it, this page will go for the A4 size print page. Now I'll just fit it to the respective zoom. And second thing, what you need to do, we'll fix some margins for this as narrow margins for the corner borders. So you can make use of maximum layout size. So very first thing, what you need to do, you have to merge some of the cells to you know um, provide the company's name. So you need to decide what company name you are going to put here. So what I'll do, I'll just provide it as a Parth Hems IT Solutions, and you can increase the font with font increase size as per your requirement. And I usually put it as a 16 so it looks like a header, and you can make it as a bold one, and you can skip one line, or on the next line itself directly we can put it as you know the address for that organization. So simply you can go for um, as you stay in Mumbai, then Maharashtra, and then you can put India, and then you can provide the pin code number. Also nowadays there are certain um, details that you need to put under this, but for now we'll go with the company name and the address for this. And additionally, if you can see the on the header size, like you have to put some underline to divide this company details with your salary structure. So what we'll do, we'll go for bottom border on this. Once you select the bottom border, and also you can add the line weightage. So line style, I'll go with line weightage over here. I'll go for thick line at this moment, and I'll select this line. Oh, let me zoom in. Okay, what you can do, I'll select the line style again, and I don't know, it's not getting up. I'll just erase border this cell. Somehow it's not working. That's fine. So what you can do, you can simply put the bottom here. Oh, that's great. It has been selected automatically. This might be because of this older version of Microsoft, but latest version you can simply go ahead and select line style as a thicker one. So what you need to do here, you have to select it first line style if you are having old version of Microsoft. So you can select and then go for bottom border. So you have to choose the sequence. So once you're done with this, there are certain things you need to put on the top. So very first thing we'll go with, the data that we have already collected on our last sheet, the sheet 3, that we have as the employee ID, name, and the employee details that we are going to put on the top of these things. So this area should be first area should be um, set it for the employee details. Then in the next area we'll put earnings and deduction, and once that is done, at the bottom we'll put the net salary and then signature and the company stamps. So likewise, you can fix your layout. So let's put details one by one. So for this, what you need to do, if you want to go with your own naming convention, so you can go with manual entry like employee ID, then employee name, likewise. But for now, we'll automate this with headers. So for this, what I'll do, I'll just take a reference from this. I'll select whole details and just right click and define a name. So for this, I'll just give a name as a EMP. So this will be my name for this whole table, and I'll just click on OK. So for a reference, what I can do, I'll just pick up this value from sheet 3. So first details I'm going to put as an employee ID. So I'll just say is equal to sheet number 3 and ID. So instead of sheet 3, you can give good name. So what I'll do, I'll just click on escape and rename this as a EMP details. Or you can simply put as underscore to just to avoid space issues. And on the second, layout planning for my salary slip. So what I'll do, I'll just pick up this employee ID from employee details sheet, and this sheet name I'll just provide as a salary slip layout. So very first thing will go is equal to the employee details from A2. So if you can see, the formula automatically picks up the cell A2 and it will display over here. So for all stuff, for first layout, what I'll do, I'll just put these values as on the bold letters, because these are important stuffs and that probably we'll need in a highest values. So I'll just say employee ID and just expand this, and you can adjust your previous cells, because those are just meant for boundaries, so you can adjust your remaining stuff. So first I have put employee ID. So what you need to do, I can simply drag it here next as a instead of A2, I'll just go for B2 as a header name. So I'll just copy this formula from this and just put over here instead of this. So I'll just copy this and put here as a B2. So if you can see, it is automatically taking the B2 from this. So you need to remember the cell name 2 as the headers of um, the all details. So I'm just using a row number 2 and the next columns. So I know that I have put the next column as a designation. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this and paste it again in the next cell, and I'll just change this as a C2. So automatically this will be populated. So for now I'm just copying the headers. Similar way I'm going to use this as a ABC, and I can directly copy this formula as well. Just put two rows, one for the values that we are going to pick up and one row for empty, and the next row is for the next values. So here we have just completed D2, and now we are going to put the employee account details now. So you can alter these names as per your convenient. So I'm just putting the account number, so the my layout should looks good. Then bank account, and again E2, F2. You have to just copy and paste and just put the next value F2. And I think we have missed one more. I'll just copy this, or you can simply select and drag it to next cell, so that will automatically move. So we just missed the D2, that is bank name. Now we have moved that is reason you can see this bold has been removed. Now you can adjust the cells to give the look and feel for your salary slips. So far we have fixed the layout for employee ID, name, designation, bank name, and bank account. Okay. Now how to get this value, we'll see the values later, but very first thing we have to fix our layouts, or you can say the design the template. So for now we don't require this ribbon. I'll just minimize this to have a better view for a page. Now by keeping these two lines as empty, I'll go for creating one small table. So now we are going to put the earnings. So if you can select that and go for merging this cell and just put as a earnings, or you can take all three cells if you wish, and deductions. So as we seen in the layout planning, we already have this you know the details and the totals that we already took. So you can plan before you start with the layout, you can create such table and simply you can copy paste it. So instead of putting the values, what I'll do, I'll directly copy the available layout of the pre-work that I have done. I'll just copy this and paste it here. And if you can see, it is in pasted. So you have to just adjust your um, layouts here now. Now if you can see, your values are going into next page. So what you can do, you can simply um, move your details on the different page, and you have to just adjust it similar way. And also you can control your thickness or the values of the text, so that can be fitted into the layout. So for this I can use as value as the Calibri. So if you can see, the font is also changed, so I'll use as a Calibri and font it as the 10, or you can say 9 also, that's fine enough. And the value for this, let's bring down. All right, so you can use the shortcuts also for this for the allowances, like a DA or HRA, to make it more visible, or conveyance allowance, you know or medical allowance, special allowance. And also for this PF, professional tax, income tax, so that can be get fitted in this. So this is how you have to manage with your layout. So now if you can see, we have a layout available, and while putting this, make sure your heading should be always at the center, and this heading should be on a bold. So always use the good color. If you are going for color printout, you can give specific color like this, or standard colors you can choose. But if you are using black and white printout, I'll recommend to use the 50% gray. So if you can see that, that is already selected, and this also I'll make a changes. Now this column, if you can see, uh, the C18, this is the total earning for me, and you can make it bold if you wish, or you can keep it as it is. Now you have to just adjust with your layouts. So make sure your next column should not go into next page. All right, and you can merge the cells as per the convenient or that we chosen earlier, and then we'll just remove this border as a no border. Because of formatting we lost this. Okay, so once you do this, all right, all right. So for time being I'll just make it as a non-bold so they can fit into the columns. And this layout I need to choose, or if you wish you can change the font as well. So once you do that, the net salary has to be bring the minus of this. So I'll just merge this the next cell, putting the highlighted one. The net salary is equal to, so you can pick up the value which is coming from this and this. So you can specifically merge these two cells, and alignment should be on the right, and I'll just merge these two cells so I can put the values on the left hand side. So what I'm going to do, total earnings, so my values would be is equal to this minus this. So total earning minus total deductions. So as of now I don't have any of the values that have been entered. So if you look at this, this is going to be a good structure for this. Now the very important stuff that we missed on the top, I'll just insert one more cell in this, and there you can specify as margin center, salary slip for salary slip, and you can specify month May 2020 and make it bold and the color one. You can make this as a gray, so that will be seen as the header, or you can simply merge all the cells together. That should be also fine. This looks good. Now what you can do here, you can specify the columns. How I'll choose the line cell back to the normal, and I'll choose this. So you can keep it as a blank as well, and you can keep it as the cell. So I'll just give a border for this. currently we are uh, just preparing the template, and at the end you can you can sign on by the HR signature of HR, and you can just specify some space for this, and on the next line we can name for the HR also HR head as Path Hems as HR head. So you can put this on the left hand side as alignment, so that would give more clarity. So once you've done that, you can specify you know the signature as a bold one, so this would be good enough. And this also you can make it as the highlighted corner, so our layout is created. Now the next thing we need to do is pull up the data from the employee details sheet. So you can simply give the reference from the another sheet, or the employee details. So very first thing that we are going to put as an employee ID. So here I'll select is equal to, or you can prepare a list for this first. Insert a list, or the simple way to create the list is go to particular space, select all, and then click on conditional formatting. Oh, sorry. So click on data, then data validation. There, once you click, you can go for allow a list. So source should be, you have to select this source as a list. Once you select this, I would say okay. Now, once you select this, I have to just select the employee ID, right? And that I am going to put at the middle of the row, and make all these values as a bold. So whenever the new things are going to fetch here, that would be a bold. So the next bank name or remaining details that we are going to put over here, that will put with a VLOOKUP. So I'll just write down the formula as a VLOOKUP employee ID, comma, table array will choose. Initially we created the employee details, so I'll just select EMP. I've selected a full cell, so I'm just selecting this EMP, or you can select the whole cells from this, like whole cells like this, and then say comma which value you are going to put. So the first column is your the employee ID, though on this the second column that you need to choose as a B. So I'm going to write this employee name as a employee 1, so over here. Now I have to go for the value as a false, or you can put a 0 also for exact match. So I'll say bracket complete and hit enter. So if you can see, this name is automatically populated. Let's see if I change the value from here, whether it's going to be changed or not. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'll just copy this list. This is not populated correctly. Okay, so let's put it in different way. I'll say data validation and list. I'll select list again. Source as source is equal to employee details and this sheet. Okay, so I'm just binding this list with the first sheet. So now if you can see, I am taking all the list of values here. Okay, now I'm going to put it as a bold and making it as a center for all the details, or you can simply put on the left hand side, so for more clarity. Same way I'm just putting for other one. So I know with the VLOOKUP I'm going to put the value of first column, second column, third column, fourth column, and fifth column, and sixth column on this employee details page. So simply I'll just copy this and put the values over here. So only thing I have to change is the column number. The next column number I have to put. So designation I have put. So after 3 I'm going to put the fourth one. Then the next column, the fifth. So make sure whatever the values you are populating against the header, that should be matching with your header. So that is the reason I am putting the header as per we have selected. So the previous value was 5, so next value we'll choose as a 6. So now our data is ready. I'll just make it more systematic. Now if I change the value to 102, let's see whether all the remaining values are changing. Yes, they are. Now if you can see, the software engineer also changed. So you can choose abbreviations as well if you wish to fit your employee details um, in properly in you know sites. So what you can do, you can choose abbreviation as a AAC for associate software engineer, or AC SSE for senior software engineer. So this is AC SE, then SSE team lead and manager. So with this you can see this is properly aligned. And if I choose, if I try to modify this, it won't allow me. So this is way, if I select the another employee name as a 106, it is going to change everything related to that user or employee. So this looks good for the employee details. Similar way, we are just going to put the column names against each and every column. So if you can see, basic DA, HRA, conveyance allowance, medical allowance, special allowance. So this, for the better understanding of what we can do, we can put it into sequence: basics, deadness allowance, HRA. The next one, conveyance allowance, medical allowance, and special allowance. Conveyance, medical, and special allowance. Then under deductions, provident fund, professional tax, and income tax. So professional tax comes first, income tax second, and employee provident fund third. So let's say I'm just putting the PF under this. So very first thing, professional tax we are calculating here. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. Then next is income tax. Why I'm doing this? Because the sequence I want to put in a proper way, or when you recollect values, that should populate right way. So if you can see, all are in sequence and the columns. So earlier we were putting the values as a 6. So now the next column is basics salary. So I'll just put the 7 over here. Similar way, you can put the next values. Make sure you are checking it first time when you prepare this format. So I'm just increasing one more value on every side, or for every component. 10, 11, column number 12. Now column number 13, column number 14, column number 15. Okay, so this is also, you can put it as a bold letter if it is fitting it, otherwise you can keep it as it is. Okay, so the total earnings would be the sum of all these values, and the total deduction would be sum of all these values. Oh, sorry, I just put some, so I have to put the function over here and all these values. So I'm just calculating remaining sales as well, in case you add any deduction like loan or something, so that you can put it as a manual one. So for example, somebody taken an advance as a 5,000, so that would be calculated as a deductions. So if you can see, we already did put the formula for the total earnings minus the total deduction, so that would be a net salary. Now just you need to align these cells to right side, because these are the amounts, right? So amount, we always put it on the right hand side of that table in the middle. So this is how you can get the values. Now in case if you change the employee name or number or employee ID, these values are going to change automatically. Now if you can see, for the CEO, the net salary is 1 lakh, the DA and HRA and conveyance allowance and medical allowance, special allowance, these values are automatically populated. Also it is populating the income tax. So what are the calculation that for the income tax, that you know if you can see, we already done it under this sheet. So some of the salaries are more than 10 lakhs, that is the reason we put it as a 20%. For this it is going to more than 15 lakhs, so it would be a 30% likewise. And these are just samples, it is not actual matches, but definitely you can do the income tax calculation on the native sheets itself. So this is how your layout is ready now for preparing, or um, changing the salary slips. So likewise, if you wish to add the list of monthly salary as well, so you can simply choose the year or year and change it, which year or month you are going to provide the salary or more details on this, like number of days served. So you need to make a calculation for a pro rata basis salary also as well, to fit the requirement. So for now, I'll just put 0 in this. And once you prepare with this layout, what you can do, you can simply go and try print preview. Let's see how exactly it looks. Yes, this is coming out nicely now. But only thing, if you can see on the left hand side or bottom, the thick borders are not fitting well. So let's try to get it into PDF format. I don't have any PDF format or a printer already ready with this. Yes, but let's see save as. If you can go for save as PDF. Yes, there it is. Let's try to save it. Let's see how exactly it look like. Oh, that's come nicely. And this is where you can fit your salad slips. So on the top, you can simply make more spaces on this, like to get it better. So I would suggest to go always with better sizing over here. So what I'll do, for this, let's say line style to be as a middle on this. So Control Z. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's not. And you can simply print it. And if you are going to add more color printing, so you can choose the colors as per your convenience, like the as per the salaries or the company organization coloring format. So for giving more space for employee salary slip and let it get fitted properly on a page, what you can do, you can add a few more lines from the top, and know get the data like this. And Mayman salary slip, sorry, this going down. Let's see how many rows still remaining. You can adjust this, insert few more cells, select only those cells, and you can put it down, put it down, and you can simply go for no fill or no borders. You have to adjust this formatting, and later on you need to fit it back. Okay, so this is how you can automate or map your the employee salary. So let's save the final version of it. Let's see how exactly it gives, and I'll save it as a new, and let's see whether it gives a nice format that we choose now. So this is the old one as a salary slip. Let's see. Oh, that is saved into different format. Okay, so save as a PDF, and I will say the latest. Once it publish, it will automatically open if you check this. Now this looks a good format for proceeding. That's great. So this is how you can prepare the salary slip for your employees and make use of it. And this is a really great example to the creating a mapping between the data. Like if you select any one of it, in a remaining value should automatically populate. So this way also you can use for mapping. So I'll definitely use this mapping sheet in another example to make use of on the best way of mapping. So I hope you like this video, and definitely you'll use this and get best out of it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.